every tool available. Military, alliances, intelligence, I will use. But what this global war on terror bumper sticker, political slogan, that's all it is, all it's ever been, was intended to do was for George Bush to use it to justify everything he does. The ongoing war in Iraq, Guantanamo, Abu Ghraib, spying on Americans, torture. None of those things are okay. They are not the United States of America.
Senator Clinton, do you agree with Senator Edwards that this war on terror is nothing more than a bumper sticker, at least the way it's been described?
No, I do not. I am a senator from New York. I have lived with the aftermath of 9/11, and I have seen firsthand the terrible damage that can be inflicted on our country by a small band of terrorists who are intent upon foisting their way of life and using suicide bombers and suicidal people to carry out their agenda. And I believe we are safer than we were. We are not yet safe enough, and I have proposed over the last years a number of policies that I think we should be following.
Congressman Kucinich, you voted against the Patriot Act when it was first introduced. You've since voted again against it, but some would say yesterday's plot that was described by the FBI underscores the need for precisely that kind of tough measure to deal with potential terrorists out there.
Benjamin Franklin once said that those who would give up their essential liberties to achieve a sense of security deserve neither. The Patriot Act has undermined civil rights in this country. And as President of the United States, one of my first acts in office would be to move forward to have the Justice Department overturn the Patriot Act as unconstitutional. We have to remember that 9/11 led us down a cul-de-sac. Americans need to reconnect with our deeper sense of self here, Wolf. We have to remember that, the courage that it took to form this country is still within us. And I want to have what I call the 9/10 Forum to recreate, help us reconnect with a deeper sense of who we are as Americans.
We got to move on to the next question. I want to go back to Scott. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks, Wolf. Senator Biden, question for you on Iraq. You are the only person standing on this stage tonight to recently vote to continue funding the troops in Iraq. My question is this: why were Senators Obama, Clinton, Dodd, and Congressman Kucinich wrong to vote against the funding?
I'm not going to make a judgment why they were wrong. I'll tell you why I was right. No one has fought harder to change this president's policy. Matter of fact, the very language that was vetoed in the bill was language that I, and along with Senator Levin, put in, and I suggested over a year ago in a proposal I laid forward, that is to start to draw down troops immediately, have them all out by '08. But the fact of the matter is, it's about time. We've not been told the truth about this war from the beginning by this president, and the fact is, we got to tell the truth now. The truth now is there are 160,000 forces in Iraq. They're in harm's way. 70% of all the injuries are caused by those IEDs. We know that if we put in these mine-resistant vehicles, these V-shaped hull vehicles, put them in now, we could save 2/3 of the lives and 2/3 of the injuries. My colleagues joined me when I proposed fast-forwarding the funding for that so we could get 2,500 of them into the field by August. If we had voted no and stopped this, it would have delayed that. Lives are at stake. I knew the right political vote, but I tell you what, some things are worth losing elections over.
Senator Biden, why are you reluctant to say now they were wrong and you were right?
Because I don't want to judge them. I mean, these are my friends. We've worked together. We've worked hard to try to end this war. We hear people telling everybody, just stop the war, Congress. We have 50 votes. We're busting our neck every single day. So I respect them. But look, I cannot, as long as there is a single troop in Iraq, that I know if I take action by funding them, I increase the prospect they'll live or not be injured. I cannot and will not vote no to fund them.
Senator Clinton, you voted in favor of every funding for the U.S. troops since the start of the war until now. And some are accusing you and some others of playing politics with the lives of the troops. What is your response?
Well, I have the deepest respect for my friend, Senator Biden, and he and I have agreed on much of what we have attempted to do. Unfortunately, we don't have a president who is willing to change course, and I think it was time to say enough is enough. I thought the best way to support our troops was to try to send a very strong message that they should begin to come home. That is the best way to support them, and I thought that vote was an opportunity to do so. Everybody on this stage, we are all united, Wolf. We all believe that we need to try to end this war. In 2 nights, you're going to have the Republican candidates here. They all support the war. They all support the president. They all supported the escalation. Each of us is trying in our own way to bring the war to an end.
Senator Obama, you did the same thing. Since you came into the Senate, you voted for the funding for the troops for this war until now. What's your answer?
Well, look, everybody supports the troops, and everybody knows that. To some degree, this was a vote that had to do with how we feel about a continuation of a plan that has not worked. The president has now announced, just the other day, he said that this was like Korea. Keep in mind, we've been there 6 decades in the Korean Peninsula. And the best way for us to support the troops is to ensure